What if an ordinary coin in your pocket was secretly worth thousands or even over $100,000? It may sound unbelievable, but it has happened before. Today, we'll reveal 3 incredible coins that look completely normal yet hide astonishing secrets, rare mint errors, and life-changing values. Make sure you watch until the end, because the final coin is the most surprising of them all. Have you ever wondered how a tiny silver coin could quietly change someone's life? A few years ago, a seemingly ordinary Mercury dime stunned the collecting world when an exceptionally preserved example crossed the auction block for an astonishing price, proving that the smallest pieces of history can sometimes carry the biggest surprises. The owner had reportedly kept it tucked away for decades, believing it was just another old coin, until an expert examination revealed remarkable preservation and rare characteristics that collectors had been searching for. Stories like this remind us that incredible discoveries do not always begin in museums or hidden treasure chests. Sometimes they begin inside an old family collection, a forgotten drawer, or a dusty coin album. That is exactly why the 1917 Mercury dime deserves a closer look. At first glance, it seems like nothing more than a worn piece of silver, but beneath its modest appearance lies an unforgettable story filled with artistry, history, mystery, and the possibility of a remarkable surprise waiting to be recognized. The 1917 Mercury dime belongs to one of the most admired coin designs ever produced by the United States Mint. Despite its popular nickname, the portrait on the front is not the Roman god Mercury. It actually represents liberty wearing a winged cap, symbolizing freedom of thought and the spirit of progress. The elegant design was created by celebrated sculptor Adolf A. Weinman, whose artistic vision transformed everyday coinage into miniature works of art. Every detail, from the flowing hair to the delicate feathers on the cap, reflects extraordinary craftsmanship that continues to captivate collectors more than a century later. Turn the coin over and the fasces, wrapped with an olive branch, represents both national strength and the hope for peace, creating a combination of symbolism rarely matched in circulating coinage. The year 1917 marked an important chapter in the history of the Mercury dime series. Production expanded across multiple mint facilities, creating coins with subtle differences that specialists still study today. Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark, while Denver and San Francisco examples display their identifying letters on the reverse near the lower left side of the fasces. Tiny differences in strike quality, die preparation, and metal flow mean that no two coins are exactly alike. Some pieces display razor-sharp details that survive generations of careful storage, while others reveal unusual characteristics caused during the minting process. These small distinctions often separate an ordinary collectible from one that becomes the centerpiece of a serious collection. Collectors are especially fascinated by mint-made irregularities that escaped into circulation. Die cracks, repunched mint marks, dramatic off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, double design elements, and misplaced impressions all tell stories of split-second events inside the mint. While many imperfections simply reduce value, genuine production errors can transform a common-looking coin into an object of extraordinary demand. The excitement comes from knowing that these unusual pieces were never intentionally created. They slipped through quality control, entered circulation, and quietly disappeared into pockets, jars, and family collections where they remained unnoticed for decades. Every unusual feature encourages another question, another closer inspection, and another possibility that history may have left behind something truly exceptional. The curiosity becomes even stronger when collectors begin studying the physical details. The weight should match official specifications within acceptable tolerance, the silver color should appear natural rather than artificially bright, and the strike should display balanced alignment across both sides. A careful examination of the rim may reveal unusual expansion from a striking error, while magnification can expose letter doubling that the naked eye completely misses. Even tiny differences in the date, mint mark position, or design sharpness can completely change how experts evaluate a coin. Experienced numismatists often spend hours comparing one Mercury dime against authenticated examples because the smallest detail may separate an ordinary survivor from a remarkable rarity. Only after those characteristics have been verified does the conversation turn toward value. Attractive 1917 Mercury dimes with notable collectible qualities or recognized mint errors have been known to reach around $5,000 in the marketplace. Better preserved examples with exceptional eye appeal, scarce varieties, or impressive technical grades have achieved prices climbing through $15,000, $30,000, and even $50,000 during competitive auctions and private sales. The rarest combinations of extraordinary preservation, outstanding strike quality, and significant rarity have recorded results approaching $80,000, demonstrating how dramatically value can rise when several desirable traits come together in a single coin. These figures are not promises for every coin, but documented examples of what truly exceptional pieces have achieved. Imagine finding a forgotten Mercury dime inside an inherited collection that everyone assumed was worth only its silver content. One quick decision to spend it could erase a piece of history forever, while one careful decision to have it professionally examined could uncover something extraordinary. That possibility is what keeps collectors searching through old envelopes, estate boxes, antique shop trays, and family keepsakes year after year. Most discoveries will never reach record-breaking prices, yet every search carries the excitement that the next coin might reveal an overlooked variety, an important mint error, or an outstanding state of preservation that changes everything. The real reward often begins with curiosity, patience, and the willingness to look beyond first impressions. Before making any decisions, resist the temptation to clean the coin or sell it immediately based on online guesses. Carefully inspect the weight, natural metal color, strike alignment, rim expansion, and any signs of letter doubling. Then let a respected professional authentication service determine exactly what you have. An expert evaluation can protect both the coin and its potential value while giving you confidence about its authenticity and condition. The 1917 Mercury dime proves that history sometimes hides extraordinary stories inside the most ordinary-looking objects, and our journey through remarkable coins is only beginning. Now that we've uncovered the secrets of this unforgettable silver classic, let's move on to the second coin, where an entirely different mystery, and perhaps an even more surprising discovery, awaits. A faded little coin tucked inside an old family album once caught the attention of a seasoned collector during a routine estate evaluation. Everyone in the room assumed it was nothing more than an ordinary Mercury dime with little more than sentimental value. But after a closer inspection under proper lighting, subtle details revealed that it was far more significant than anyone had imagined. That unexpected discovery transformed an overlooked keepsake into a remarkable collectible and reminded everyone that history often hides in the smallest places. The 1925 Mercury dime is one of those coins that quietly slips through generations unnoticed, yet behind its modest appearance lies a fascinating story of artistic brilliance, changing America, and the thrill of uncovering something truly extraordinary. It may look like an ordinary silver dime at first glance, but every tiny detail has the potential to reveal a story that has been waiting for nearly a century to be told. The 1925 Mercury dime belongs to one of the most beloved coin series ever issued by the United States Mint. Although millions of people still call it the Mercury dime, the portrait actually represents liberty wearing a winged cap, symbolizing freedom of thought rather than the Roman messenger god. Designed by renowned sculptor Adolf A. Weinman, the coin combined elegance with symbolism in a way few circulating coins had achieved before. The reverse features the fasces wrapped with an olive branch, expressing the balance between national strength and peace. Collectors often describe the design as one of the finest examples of American coin artistry because every curve, feather, and line was carefully sculpted to create a coin that looked far more sophisticated than its tiny size would suggest. By 1925, the Mercury dime had already become familiar to Americans, yet production that year introduced its own collecting challenges. Different mint facilities produced coins with varying strike quality, leaving some examples beautifully detailed, while others appeared noticeably softer. Coins from Philadelphia carry no mint mark, while Denver and San Francisco pieces feature small identifying letters on the reverse. Specialists spend years studying these differences because subtle variations in strike sharpness, die preparation, and preservation can dramatically influence desirability. A coin that appears ordinary in one collection may display characteristics that immediately capture the attention of experienced numismatists once examined more closely. One of the greatest sources of excitement surrounding the 1925 Mercury dime comes from genuine mint-produced errors. During the striking process, tiny mechanical imperfections occasionally created fascinating varieties that escaped quality control. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, doubled lettering, and misaligned dies all tell the story of a brief moment inside the mint when something unexpected happened. Unlike damage caused after circulation, authentic mint errors become permanent pieces of manufacturing history. Many survived only because they blended into everyday pocket change, remaining unnoticed for decades before eventually finding their way into collections where experts recognized their importance. The true adventure begins when collectors examine every detail under magnification. Natural silver color can reveal originality, while unusually bright surfaces may suggest improper cleaning. Sharp design details often indicate a stronger strike, whereas weak areas can sometimes point towards specific mint characteristics or production anomalies. Careful attention should also be given to the rim, which may display unusual expansion or irregularities associated with striking errors. Die alignment, spacing between letters, and even tiny signs of doubling deserve close inspection because seemingly insignificant differences can separate a common example from an exceptionally desirable one. The smallest detail is often the one that changes everything. Only after careful examination does the conversation shift toward value. Certified 1925 Mercury dimes with scarce varieties or recognized mint errors have achieved prices around $5,000 in the collector market. Better preserved examples featuring outstanding eye appeal and stronger rarity have climbed through $15,000, $35,000, and $60,000 at major auctions and private sales. Truly extraordinary specimens with exceptional preservation, important varieties, or dramatic mint errors have reached astonishing prices approaching $120,000, proving that remarkable value comes from a combination of rarity, condition, originality, and collector demand rather than age alone. Those impressive figures represent documented sales of exceptional coins, not ordinary circulated examples. Collectors often share stories of coins that nearly slipped away forever. Some were almost spent as everyday change, while others remained forgotten inside inherited boxes for generations before finally being recognized. Those moments create unforgettable memories because they remind us that remarkable discoveries rarely announce themselves. They appear quietly, waiting for someone patient enough to notice what everyone else overlooked. That excitement keeps collectors searching through estate collections, antique shops, old coin albums, and family keepsakes with the hope that the next overlooked Mercury dime might reveal another incredible chapter in American numismatic history. Before making any decision, resist the temptation to clean, polish, or quickly sell a coin simply because someone online claims it is valuable. Instead, carefully inspect the metal tone, strike clarity, rim condition, die alignment, and any unusual doubling before seeking professional authentication from a respected grading service. An expert evaluation provides confidence, protects the coin's historical integrity, and ensures that any important characteristics are properly identified before it changes hands. The 1925 Mercury dime proves that extraordinary stories are often hidden inside the most ordinary-looking coins, and our journey is far from over. Now let's continue to the third coin, where another unexpected treasure is waiting to reveal its own remarkable secrets. A collector walked into a major coin auction carrying what looked like an ordinary modern dime, expecting little more than a routine appraisal. Minutes later, the room filled with excitement as specialists realized they were looking at an extraordinary mint error that had escaped into circulation years earlier. Competitive bidding pushed the final price far beyond what anyone in the audience expected, proving once again that modern coins can sometimes produce astonishing results when they possess the right combination of rarity, condition, and authenticity. Stories like that are exactly why experienced collectors never ignore the change in their pockets. The 2007 Roosevelt dime may appear completely ordinary at first glance, but beneath its familiar design lies a remarkable story filled with unexpected mistakes, collector obsession, and the thrilling possibility that one tiny detail could completely change the coin's future. The Roosevelt dime has represented far more than everyday pocket change since it was first introduced in 1946. Created to honor President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the design became one of the longest-running coin series produced by the United States Mint. By 2007, millions of these dimes were entering circulation every year, making them seem so common that most people never gave them a second look. Yet history has repeatedly shown that extraordinary discoveries often emerge from the most ordinary coins. Hidden among countless normal examples are rare production mistakes that transform a simple 10-cent piece into something collectors eagerly search for across coin shows, auctions, and inherited collections. Among the most fascinating discoveries connected with certain 2007 Roosevelt dimes is an unusual die break that creates what many collectors informally describe as a three-legged appearance. This striking visual effect developed when part of the working die deteriorated during production, causing sections of the design to appear incomplete or dramatically altered. Unlike damage that occurs after a coin leaves the mint, a genuine die break becomes part of the coin itself during the striking process. Every authentic example tells the story of a worn die continuing to strike coins until the defect became impossible to ignore. Because these errors were never intentionally produced, surviving examples remain highly desirable whenever they are properly authenticated. That mystery is exactly what fuels collector enthusiasm. Two coins struck on the same day can appear completely different under magnification, with one showing crisp, flawless details, while another reveals subtle evidence of die fatigue, missing design elements, or unusual raised metal formed by the fractured die. Experienced numismatists often spend hours comparing tiny features that casual observers overlook entirely. Every unusual line, missing detail, or unexpected shape raises new questions about how the coin was produced and whether it represents a recognized mint error or an entirely unique discovery. The excitement comes from knowing that remarkable finds are still possible even in modern circulation. If you happen to discover a 2007 Roosevelt dime that looks unusual, careful examination becomes essential. Start by checking for visible die breaks that interrupt parts of the design, then study the natural metal color for consistency and originality. Inspect the strike quality to determine whether important details appear unusually weak or unexpectedly sharp. Examine the rim for distortion, irregular expansion, or incomplete formation, and use magnification to inspect every letter for unusual doubling or missing definition. These subtle characteristics often separate an ordinary coin from one worthy of professional attention, and every observation adds another piece to the puzzle before any conclusions are reached. Only after those characteristics have been confirmed does the discussion move toward value. Authenticated 2007 Roosevelt dimes with significant mint errors have achieved prices beginning around $5,000 for notable examples that attracted strong collector demand. More dramatic die breaks, exceptional preservation, and scarce error combinations have climbed through $20,000, $45,000, and $75,000 during competitive auctions and important private sales. The most extraordinary examples, those combining spectacular errors, outstanding condition, and exceptional rarity, have reached prices approaching $120,000, demonstrating how dramatically value can increase when several remarkable qualities appear together. These figures reflect documented sales of exceptional coins rather than ordinary circulation pieces. Some of the most unforgettable stories begin with people who almost overlooked what they already owned. A coin tossed into a jar after buying coffee, a forgotten roll sitting inside a dresser, or spare change inherited from a relative has occasionally turned into an incredible discovery after someone decided to take a closer look. Just as memorable are the stories of missed opportunities, where unusual coins were unknowingly spent before anyone realized their significance. Those moments remind collectors that patience, curiosity, and careful observation often matter far more than luck. Every pocketful of change carries a tiny possibility that history has quietly hidden something extraordinary in plain sight. Before making any quick decisions, never clean the coin or rush to sell it based on guesses from the internet. Carefully examine the die breaks, metal color, strike quality, rim integrity, and letter clarity, then have the coin professionally authenticated so its true identity and significance can be accurately determined. That single step can protect both the history of the coin and its potential value while giving you complete confidence in what you've found. If you enjoyed uncovering the hidden story behind the 2007 Roosevelt dime, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment telling us which coin you want to see next. Here's hoping your very next handful of change contains an incredible discovery of its own. And until our next adventure, happy collecting and good luck hunting for your next hidden treasure.